What's going on, guys? It's Lenny Quick Gaming, and today I'm back on another video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 draft day steals of all time. Now the criteria I used for making my list is that I didn't pick any player that's been drafted in the past 10 years because I might do another video on the top draft day steals from the past decade, so I want to keep those all out and I want to use all veterans. Now except for one player, everybody on this list was drafted outside the top 10. I want to make that another criteria, but one player obviously I couldn't keep him off the list. So at number 10 I have the duo of Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. Now both of them definitely deserve a spot on the list, and I didn't have a spot for both of them, so I decided to put them together since basically they've been together their entire career and have played under the Spurs. So we're going to start off with Manu Ginobili. Ginobili was drafted in the second round in the 1999 draft by the San Antonio Spurs with the 57th overall pick. So obviously when they selected the guard from Argentina, they didn't expect he'd be a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time NBA All-Star, and a 2-time NBA All-Third team. He also won the EuroLeague championship, as well as he was the Finals MVP from that, obviously being on the All-EuroLeague first team in 2001, and he was the NBA Sixth Man of the Year in 2008. Obviously on a recent decline with him being 39 years old, Ginobili still averages 14 points per game for his career. Next up, moving to his point guard, Tony Parker. Parker was selected in the first round with the 28th overall pick in 2001 by the San Antonio Spurs. He spent a bit of time playing in Europe as well, just like Ginobili, and he picked up some accolades there with him being the FIBA Eurobasket MVP in 2013. Just like Ginobili, Parker does have 4 NBA rings, and he was the Finals MVP in 2007 with the San Antonio Spurs. He's a 6-time All-Star, a 3-time All-NBA second team player, as well as an All-NBA third team player in 2009. With the Spurs pick of Kawhi Leonard as well, someone there doing the Spurs scouting is definitely doing their job and deserves a raise. Moving on to number 9, I have Dennis Rodman. Rodman selected 27th overall in the second round. Rodman selected in the second round in the 1986 draft by the Detroit Pistons with the 27th overall pick, proved himself to be a great value and a definite draft day steal for both the Detroit Pistons. Although he was a bit undersized playing the center position, Rodman was a very physical big man and could guard all 5 positions on the court. As well as being one of the greatest defensive players of all time, he was also one of the greatest rebounders of all time. In his 14 NBA seasons, Rodman grabbed 13 rebounds a game and led the league 7 times in rebounds per game. He was a 5-time NBA champion, a 2-time NBA All-Star, a 2-time All-NBA third team, a 2-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, as well as a 7-time All-NBA first team defensive player. I think he will definitely be higher up on a lot of other people's lists, but there is no doubt in my mind that he deserves to be in the top 10. Next up at number 8, we have Steve Nash. Nash was selected with the 15th overall pick in the first round in the 1996 draft by the Phoenix Suns. Now to many this is regarded as the greatest NBA draft of all time, but definitely with the way Nash's career turned out, there is no doubt he should have been a lot higher. Nash is a 2-time NBA MVP, winning it in back-to-back years in 2005 and 2006. He is an 8-time NBA All-Star. He's a 3-time All-NBA first team, a 2-time All-NBA second team, and a 2-time All-NBA third team. He led the league in assists 5 times. He's part of the crazy 50-40-90 club 4 times. For his career, Nash averaged 14 points a game and 8.5 assists, with him obviously leading the league 5 times in assists per game. Moving on to number 7, we have Alex English. Selected in the second round with the 23rd overall pick by the Milwaukee Bucks in the 1976 draft, Alex English went on to have a Hall of Fame career. He was an 8-time NBA All-Star, a 3-time All-NBA second team player. He is an NBA scoring champion, and he's the Denver Nuggets all-time leading scorer. For his career, he scored 25,613 points, which gave him a career total of 21.5 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.6 assists. Any player drafted in the second round, or any player at all, goes into the Hall of Fame is a definite draft day steal. Any player that's drafted and makes it to the Hall of Fame is a definite steal for the draft unless he's picked number 1 overall. With that being said, getting a Hall of Famer in the second round of the draft is even more crazy. At number 6, I have Nate Tiny Archibald. I really wanted to move him up on the list just looking at his career and his statistics, but I couldn't really switch him out with anybody else, so number 6 is where we have him. I definitely think on anybody else's list he could be rated even higher, but for me, I have him at number 6. Archibald was selected in the second round of the 1970 draft by the Cincinnati Royals with the 19th overall pick. Another second round pick making it to the NBA Hall of Fame. Archibald was an NBA champion in 1981 with the Boston Celtics. He was a 6-time NBA All-Star, the All-Star Game MVP in 1981. He was a 3-time All-NBA first team player, a 2-time All-NBA second team player, and part of the NBA's 50 greatest players of all time. For his career, Archibald managed to put up 19 points per game as well as 7.5 assists, and in the 1972-1973 season, he put up one of the craziest stat lines in NBA history, leading the league in both points and assists per game. He had 34 points per game as well as 11.4 assists, which he did on 49% shooting. Like I said, definitely a player that should be up higher on the list, but because there weren't as many teams back then, I decided I'd put him down just because his pick wasn't even that high overall if it was in today's NBA draft. Moving on to number 5, I have George Gervin. Gervin was selected in the third round of the 1974 draft with the 40th overall pick by the Phoenix Suns. During his Hall of Fame career, in which he as well was part of the NBA's 50 greatest players of all time. He was a 9-time All-Star, an All-Star Game MVP, a 5-time All-NBA first team, a 2-time All-NBA second team, and he won the scoring championship for the NBA 4 times. He was also a 3-time ABA All-Star. During his career, he put up 26,595 points, which was good enough to get him 25 points per game with 5.3 rebounds in his Hall of Fame career. At number 4, I have John Stockton was selected with the 16th overall pick in 1984 by the Utah Jazz in the first round. During his Hall of Fame career, he was a 10-time NBA All-Star, and he won the All-Star Game MVP once in 1993. He was also on the All-NBA first team twice, and was on the All-NBA defensive second team 5 times. He led the league in assists 9 times, and led the league in steals twice. He's the NBA all-time assist leader as well as the NBA all-time steals leader, with him dishing out 15,806 assists, which equals out to 10.5 assists per game. And he also had 3,265 steals, averaging out to 2.2 steals per game. The craziest thing with him is that he was less than 4,000 assists away from reaching his points total. Along with his 10.5 assists per game and 2.2 steals, he also put up 13.1 points per game. Moving on to number 3, we have Karl Malone. Malone was selected with the 13th overall pick in the first round by the Utah Jazz in 1985. He went on to be a 2-time NBA MVP, a 14-time NBA All-Star, a 2-time NBA All-Star MVP, an 11-time All-NBA first team, as well as a 2-time All-NBA second team, and he had an All-NBA third team in there as well in 2001. He was on the All-NBA defensive first team 3 times. He's the Utah Jazz all-time leading scorer, and he also has the second most points in NBA history behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 36,928 points. During his Hall of Fame career, he scored 25 points per game and grabbed 10 rebounds, with basically the only thing missing from his great career was a championship. Moving on to number 2, we have Kobe Bryant. Now for those of you that have Kobe Bryant very high up on your all-time NBA list, then I don't have to explain this at all. But for those of you that maybe have Karl Malone over Kobe Bryant on your all-time NBA list, which I have seen some people put, the reason I have Kobe Bryant ahead of him on this list is that because Kobe Bryant was drafted out of high school, which makes him an even bigger steal. Kobe Bryant was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets in 1996 with the 13th overall pick in the first round. I'm sure most of you guys already know his achievements, so I'm only going to talk about a few. He was a 5-time NBA champion with a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. He was the NBA's most valuable player in 2008, an 18-time NBA All-Star, and he won the All-Star Game MVP 4 times. He's the Lakers' leading scorer, scoring 33,643 points, with him averaging 25 points per game for his career. He was on the All-NBA first team 11 times. He led the league in scoring twice in back-to-back seasons. In 2005-2006, he put up his best season scoring-wise, averaging 35.4 points per game. Obviously had that 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors. Moving on to number 1, which I told you guys I had one player in the top 10 on this list. We have Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was selected with the 3rd overall pick in 1984 by the Chicago Bulls. Now looking back at that draft, I'm sure most of you guys understand why Hakeem Olajuwon was taken number 1 overall. He was the big man, he was more proven, and it looked like he had more potential. Now obviously the Rockets made a great pick, they won 2 titles with him, and got an amazing Hall of Fame player. Now what the Trailblazers were thinking drafting Sam Bowie ahead of him, I don't know. And when you look at all of his achievements and stats, there's no way you can't say he's a draft steal, picked 3rd overall. Regarded by most as the greatest player in NBA history, Jordan is a 6-time NBA champion, 6-time NBA Finals MVP, 5 times NBA Most Valuable Player, 14-time All-Star, he won the NBA All-Star Game MVP 3 times, he was on the All-NBA First Team 10 times, was on the All-NBA Defensive Team 9 times, was the Defensive Player of the Year in 1988, he was the Rookie of the Year in 1985, he was a 10-time NBA Scoring Champion, he led the league in steals 3 times, won the Slam Dunk Contest twice, is the NBA Playoffs all-time leading scorer as well as the Chicago Bulls all-time leading scorer, with him scoring 32,292 points over his career, averaging up to 30 points per game. Obviously in the Hall of Fame, in Jordan's highest scoring season in 1986-1987, he put up 37.1 points per game. He has scored over 30 points per game 8 times in his career. So that is it for my list. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments below. Let me know if I missed anybody or what your list looks like. I do want to see how you guys made your list, so make sure to leave them down in the comments. Make sure you leave this video a like if you did enjoy and want to see more NBA history videos. If you missed out on yesterday's video, then you wouldn't know, but I did split up my channels into 2. I have this channel which is dedicated to NBA history, what ifs, and stuff like that, and then the other channel which is for gaming videos. So if you like my NBA 2K videos and you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check the link in the description. Go ahead and subscribe to my new channel. If you do subscribe and send me a picture on Twitter, I will go ahead and follow you guys, so go ahead and check that out. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to this channel as well if you are new. We are closing in on 15,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out, guys. Peace.